Hey, what's up, my YouTube minions? I have a battle here against Toronto Pure. Actually, probably the first of two battles you're going to see with him this week because I'm also matched up against his team in the NGDL, which will probably go up Friday as usual. But this is a battle against him from, I think, a couple streams ago, and it's a OU match, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, Toronto Pure definitely is a defensive-oriented player. Definitely likes his stall a bit, so going to, should have actually brought a Pokemon that can deal with Chansey. Unfortunately, he brings it, and I really don't have a dedicated Pokemon that can take care of it. I don't have any fighting types, so it's going to be interesting to see if I can play around Chansey. He also is bringing Mega Deontay, which is going to cause a lot of problems. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and lead with Landorus. He leads with Greninja, which is not the Pokemon I really wanted him to lead with, so I'm just going to go out to my Tapu Fini, and, yeah, he's just going to go for the Ice Beam to try to hit my, Landorus, and that's going to be pretty good for me because Tapu Lele isn't going to take that much from Ice Beam. And, yeah, that's not going to really hurt Tapu Lele not much. So he is Protean, though, so in the back of my mind, I really need to check before I can feel confident about staying in here to see if he is Gunk Shot, because a lot of, Protean Greninjas are going to be mixed. And indeed he does as I go out into Heatran, so that's not going to obviously affect me, and now I do know a little bit more about his set. So he actually switches out into Chansey here, I guess figuring Chansey can match up against my Heatran well. He didn't see the Air Balloon, so he might be suspecting a Choice Scarf, which I actually did bring Choice Scarf Heatran, I believe, so a little bit of a throwback. I still kind of like Choice Scarf Heatran. It was really good in Gen 4, though, but I still do kind of like it. Unfortunately, that Earth Power is not going to do a whole lot. Obviously, I was doing that because, obviously, he was in Poison Form mode, and, yeah, that would have been super effective. Any switch, his Chansey's going to come in here and just, yeah, get the Soft Boiled. I'm just going to go out into Keldeo, and, while Keldeo is a special hitter, he actually does physical damage with Secret Sword, so I want to see how much damage I can do with this, and indeed, it does do around 70%, I would say, and it's definitely going to outpace his ability to soft-boiled, and, yeah, my Keldeo is really my one answer for Chansey in this match, so I have to make sure that I keep Keldeo nice and healthy and around, so anyway, he's going to go into his Zapdos here, obviously knowing that this is a failed of a matchup. I just decided to keep going for Secret Sword. I really should have switched it up there, knowing that he probably wouldn't stay in after seeing Secret Sword damage. But yeah, that's not going to do much to Zapdos after the resistance. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch back out and go into Landy again, who should be able to take, if he does go for the electric move, obviously that. And I need to be sure that this guy doesn't have Hidden Power Ice, because a lot of Zapdoses do carry Hidden Power Ice in this meta. So I am going to actually double switch as well and pivot into Sableye just to see if he wants to go for Hidden Power or not. Instead, he switches out, so that makes me think, okay, maybe this guy doesn't have Hidden Power Ice. And he's just going to go into his Landorus. Anyway, he gets the Intimidate on me, and I am going to go ahead and take the Mega Evolution here, and I believe I try to go for the Will-O-Wisp, I want to say, which would be bad. Well, he goes into his Deontay. I believe I go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm not 100% sure. This battle, like I said, happened a couple weeks ago. Let's double-check. I know that I Mega Evolve, and, yeah, I do go for the Will-O-Wisp, which is kind of nice to get on the Deontay before it turns Mega. Obviously, it's going to, at the very least, if he has Diamond Storm, lower that damage, and getting residual damage on Mega Deontay isn't that bad, considering it has no way to reliably recover its HP. Now, obviously, like I said in before the game, this Mega Deontay actually poses quite a big threat to me in general. I don't have a whole lot of things. I don't have Celesteela, who's kind of like my go-to wall typically for these things, as long as they don't carry well, and he doesn't carry Tapu Koko. But yeah, he's just gonna go for the Earth Power. It does modest damage here to my Tapu Fini. I'm pretty confident that I can live one more. And he doesn't want to risk it either, because he's gonna go ahead and switch out. And I believe I double switch here. No, I think I stay in. I don't remember. I go for a Calm Mind, yeah, as he goes out into Chansey. And unfortunately, this Chansey hard checks me with my Tapu Fini. There's really nothing I can do to this Chansey, even if I get a few Calm Minds. And he would be able to wither me down, 3 KO me, actually, with Seismic Toss. So, kind of futile. So I'm just going to go back into Landorus, which, at the very least, is physical. So we'll be able to scare this Chansey away. Or at least hit him pretty hard. And yeah, just gotta go for the Seismic Toss. Does some, obviously, exactly 50 damage, because Seismic Toss always does the damage equal to the level. And he's gonna go back into his Landorus now and get another Intimidate, as I finally get off my Stealth Rock, so at least I'm able to get those off. And yeah, the Landorus is a pretty good Landorus counter in general, and I'm going to switch out. And I go out in my Sableye. hoping that I can take whatever from this guy pretty nicely, and he's just going to wisely U-turn so he can get the matchup advantage, and he is going to go out into his Diancie, and I'm like, well, I don't really have anything that can safely switch into Diancie depending on his prediction, and I decide to actually stay in, hoping that he wouldn't predict that, but really, he has no problem going for a Moonblast here at all. I mean, the worst thing I can do is go out into Heatran, I think, but I just didn't want to do it because of Earth Power, and I really should have. But it came down to a prediction there, obviously. Tapu Fini, which I went out to in the first place, wasn't an option because obviously Moonblast would be doing some significant damage to me, and I already took a hit earlier, so yeah, I'm just going to go into Heatran now, and as he goes out into Landorus, and yeah, I think what I do is, I don't remember what I do. I go for the Flash Cannon because it's super effective, it just makes sense. It's going to actually look like a 2-hit KO on this Landorus, but I don't know if this is a Scarf Landorus, which I'm kind of suspecting it is because I don't see, any of the other items. I didn't see any of the other items, so I'm kind of thinking it is Scarfed. So I'm just going to go to my own Landorus to see what he does. He just ends up switching instead of U-turning into his Zapdos, and I'm like, okay, well, he switched out earlier instead of trying for the Hidden Power Ice. Maybe he doesn't have it, but he was able to, I guess, read me perfectly there. He does carry the Hidden Power Ice. I just go for a Smackdown, which is, this is because I believe this is my, Flynium Z Landorus. So, yeah, that's why I carry Smackdown. But regardless, yeah, that's going to be able to kill me. I get some decent damage to Smackdown because it is super effective, but not really enough for it to matter. So in comes my Keldeo. I decided to go for the Icy Wind because, if he does switch out, I get the speed drop on something, and he goes into his Keldeo, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be a Scarf Keldeo, so I'm reducing his speed, but now it's going to be a speed tie, and I always lose speed ties. I'm like, do I want to flinch here? And plus, I don't even think I can kill him. Because he is at nearly full HP, so I'm like, okay, let's go out into my Tapu Fini. I can pretty much take whatever this Keldeo wants to throw at me because I resist both of his stab moves. Indeed, he does go for the Secret Sword, and yeah, that's really not going to do anything to me, but he still has Chansey, which, like I said in the beginning of the battle, I need to remember to bring a Chansey counter, at least when I battle Toronto Pure, because he really does like using this fat pink wall thing. So in comes Chansey again, and I double switch because I'm predicting Chansey. I go into my Kyurem, which is a Kyurem Black, and it is a Choice Band set, so I can hit him pretty hard no matter what. Now, my Dragon Claw is being actually reduced here in the Fairy Terrain. I didn't remember about that at the time, but it ends up not really mattering because he's just going to go into his Landorus, which is, I mean, it does actually matter, but I really didn't have a great move to lock myself into. That would be able to hit everything he had left. I just go for the Dragon Claw. It's enough to kill the Landorus even after the Intimidate. But now he's going to go in Diancie, and I have really nothing to take a Moonblast at all. So, yeah, I'm just like, what do I do? I'm just going to, I guess, sack off Kyurem. Like I said, I do have Heatran, but he was trying to predict it there, so it's a good thing I didn't switch that turn. And I'm just pretty much sacking off my Kyurem, and I just don't want to risk it. He can kill me with Earth Power for all I care. And that's the reason I didn't switch, because I'm just sacking Kyurem to get a safe switch. But yeah, this time he is going to Moonblast, so would have been pretty pro to go into Heatran there, but too much of a risk. Too much of a risk. Oh well, back into Fini, and I know I can get it in now that, obviously, I can get it in. I didn't want to switch into it because I don't think I could take 2 Moonblasts, but I can definitely take 1, and here, finally, I'm able to over-predict him, and I decide this turn to go for a Surf. He does get the special attack drop, which is unfortunate, but this is super effective and stabbed, and he's at half HP, so being able to get rid of this Mega Diancie was huge for me in this match, because obviously we're just terrorizing my team, as you guys witnessed earlier. So, in comes Chansey again, and yeah, this fat blob still completely walls me, and there's nothing much I can do about it. I'm going to switch out, though, because if I have any chance of winning, I need to keep Tapu Fini to counter his, what I perceive to be Choice Scarf Keldeo. So, yeah, he's going to go out into his Chansey, and I'm just going to go out into my my own Keldeo. And, yeah, I decide to go for the Secret Sword. His Zapdos at this point is low enough HP that the Secret Sword's going to kill him anyway. So he basically sacrifices Zapdos to get a safe switch into his Scarf Keldeo, which, yeah, I really can't do anything about. I decide to sack off Heatran because I need, like I said, I need Fini to deal with Chansey, and I need Keldeo. Sorry, I need Fini to deal with this Keldeo. but I can't take 2 Secret Swords. I can only take 1. And I need my Keldeo to deal with Chansey, so that's the reason I decided to sack off Heatran. It turns out Heatran can actually live a Secret Sword from this guy, so maybe I should have sacked Finny, and hope that my Heatran could deal. But no, my Heatran had no really good, strong moves to use against this Keldeo anyway, so I feel like I made the right play, but it's kind of unfortunate that's the case. So I'm just going to go back into Finny, and he's going to go back to Chansey. At this point, he has the Pokemon advantage, and I can't keep both of my Pokemon around, unfortunately. I'm just going to go for a Moonblast. It's going to barely scratch the Chansey. And, yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm in a no-win situation here. He's going to obviously Seismic Toss, and my Keldeo is low enough that, I can't take one of those. So I just let Finny die, and now that Finny's dead, his Scarf Keldeo beats my Keldeo one-on-one. So while I'm able to go into Keldeo here and finally kill this pink blob, Pure is going to take this match, and it was a good one. So good game there, Pure. It's okay. You could win this time. I'll win in the NGDL later this week. So yeah, that's fine with me. Anyway, today's question of the day is this: what is your favorite Pokemon game cover? So yeah, so this is kind of like a weird question, but it basically the box the game comes in, and for me, I have to say it's gonna be Pokemon Silver, and I don't know why. I mean, Lugia is an awesome legendary, but not my favorite legendary. I guess it might just be the nostalgia. While I do like Pokemon Red cover with Charizard on it as well, every time I just get excited every time I see Pokemon Silver. I mean, it's just very fresh to me, and it remains fresh to me, during this day. So you can answer for whatever reason you want. Whatever game cover you see, and you're like, that's really cool. I like that. So leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.